Welcome to the biology class. In the last section, we discussed about the WBC platelets, their structure and the functions. In this section, we are going to learn about the importance of blood transfusion, different types of blood groups and RH factor, and also about the structure of human heart. Let's start the class by observing a poster. Look at the poster. What is the message of this poster? Yes, donate blood and save life. We know that blood donation is a noble act. Every year, June 14th is observed as World Blood Donor Day. It shows the importance of blood donation. Sometimes it becomes necessary to inject blood into the body of patients. A person is undergoing surgical operation or lost excessive blood from the body due to accidents like that. This process is called blood transfusion. In blood transfusion, blood is taken from a healthy person and he is called a donor, and the person who is receiving the blood is called a recipient. The concept of blood grouping was first discovered by a scientist called Karl Landsteiner. It is on the basis of certain antigens present on the red blood cell. These antigens are certain protein molecules. They are of two types, antigen A and antigen B. Same name, the plasma of the blood contains another type of proteins. These proteins are called antibodies. Depending on the presence or absence of the antigens, blood groups are of four types. The four types of blood groups are blood group A, B, AB and O. This system of blood grouping is called the ABO system of blood grouping. Look at the ABO system of blood grouping. In this system of grouping, A group contains antigen A and antibody B. What about the AB group? In AB group, antigens A and B are present, but there is no antibodies. Then B group contain antigen B and antibody A. O group contain no antigens but antibodies A and B. From this, it is clear that which is the antigen present in a group, that is the name of the blood group. So, the blood grouping is on the basis of antigens present in the red blood cell of the blood. Then, according to this, blood group O is called a universal donor and blood group AB is called a universal recipient. Universal donor means O group blood can donate to all other groups. Recipient means the recipient group, the AB group can receive blood from all other groups. Look at the chart, look at the illustration. Here the blood groups and the antigen and antibodies are showing. Same name. Each group can donate and they can receive from which different types of group are illustrated here. Before blood transfusion, we must consider the compatibility of the blood group. A group can donate blood to the same group A and to AB. because AB is the universal recipient. Then B group donate blood to B and also to AB. What about AB? AB group can donate blood to only AB group. And O group can donate blood to A, B, AB and O. Then what about the recipients? Look once again the same chart. A person who have A group, they can receive blood from the same group A and also from O, because O is universal donor. Then a person with B group can receive the same group B and also from O group. And a person whose blood group is AB, they can receive blood from AB, O and A and B. Then what about O group? O group can receive blood only from O group. Otherwise, what happens? The blood group is not matching. That may cause blood clotting and lead to the death of the person. Then, one more thing, we must consider blood transfusion. It is the presence of another antigen. That antigen is called antigen D or Rh factor. Rh factor or antigen D. The blood of most people contains Rh factor. If Rh factor is present in our blood group, the blood group is called a positive group. Rh factor is absent, that group is called a negative group. Why is it called Rh factor? The reason is that Rh stands for a rhesus. That is the name of a monkey. In this monkey, this Rh factor was first discovered. That is why it is called a Rh factor. And what is the importance of this Rh factor and blood transfusion? So I told that Rh factor means it is an antigen. Is it present? The blood group is said positive blood. Is it absent? The blood group is called negative. Then in blood transfusion, a person with a positive blood transfused blood into person with a negative blood. For example, O positive blood donate to a person with O negative. What happens? In the recipient's blood, an antibody is formed against this Rh factor, because this Rh factor is not present in the negative blood group. It is a foreign particle for the recipient body. Therefore, an antibody is formed in the recipient's blood against the Rh factor. That is happened within about 2 weeks of transfusion. And this antibody remains in their blood. But it does not create any problem in the recipient's body at the first time. Is it a first time? It does not create any problem. But if a second transfusion be given to such Rh negative person, the antibody produced by the first transfusion causes a reaction with the transfused blood, and which may even lead to death. This is similar to the development of an allergy. That is why observe the chart showing here. Here you can see that the blood groups are written as positive and negative. All groups has A positive and A negative, B positive and B negative, AB also positive and negative, and O positive and negative. And according to this, once again look here, A positive can give blood to, so practically positive blood is given to the negative blood, it may cause certain problems in the second time. So practically A positive can give blood to A positive blood group and AB positive, not to give negative one. O positive can give blood to O positive, A positive, B positive and AB positive. And AB positive, that is a universal recipient, not a donor. AB positive can give blood to only AB positive. Then look here, what about the negative blood groups? It is said that negative groups are rare groups. A negative can give blood to all negative bloods and same time the positive. Because RH factor is absent in negative group, therefore it can donate blood to the same positive groups. So O negative, it is it may given to all other groups. So it is called the O negative. O group is the universal donor and O negative is the, to clear, O negative is the universal donor. It can give blood to all other groups. Then what is the role of this RH factor in pregnancy? A mother whose blood is negative and she carries an RH positive child in her uterus. What happens? Mother's blood is negative and her child is a positive blood. The first RH positive child will be normal. No problem occur. But if it sensitizes the mother, the second positive child, then again she conceive another child, it may have certain problems. The antibody formed in the mother's blood against this RH factor may react with the positive RH factor in the child, and that may cause a death of the fetus or a abortion. Is it clear the role of RH factor? Yes. Blood transfusion. So before blood transfusion we must understood what are the blood groups and the blood group is positive or negative. Otherwise it will may cause so many problems. Now we can study the blood circulatory system. The circulatory system consists of heart, blood and blood vessels. Blood vessels are of three types: arteries, veins and capillaries. First upon, the heart. Do you know where is the heart situated? It is located in the thoracic chamber in between two lungs, and it is just above the diaphragm. What is the shape of the heart? It is cone shaped or triangular shape, and one end is pointed to the left side. That is why it's giving a feeling that the heart is on the left side. Then look at the figure. What is the size of the heart? The heart in adult human is about the size of our closed fist. That is 12 centimeter in length and 9 centimeter in width. And it is protected by a double-walled membranous covering called pericardium. In between the pericardial membrane, there is a fluid called pericardial fluid. And what is the function of pericardial fluid? It reduces the friction during the heartbeat, and also it protects the heart from external injuries. Then we can study the chambers of the heart. Do you know which are the chambers of the heart? The heart consists of 4 chambers. 2 upper atria or auricles and 2 lower ventricles. And the auricles or atria are called receiving chambers and the ventricles are called distributing chambers. Can you see? The walls of ventricles are much thicker than the walls of auricles. What is the reason? Because ventricles have to pump blood to long distances. And the right ventricle and left ventricle is little more thicker than the right ventricle, because the right ventricle pumps blood only up to the lungs. It is for oxygenation. But the left ventricle pumps it up to the farthest points in the body, including up to the toes in the feet or up to the brain. Then, which are the blood vessels that entering and leaving the heart? The blood vessels which are entering the heart or carry blood to the heart are called veins. Do you know the heart is also divided into left and right side, and the left side always consists of oxygenated blood and the right side is always consists of deoxygenated blood. And I told that the blood vessel which carry blood to the heart is called the veins. So there are two categories of vein which reach to the auricles. The biggest vein which reaches to the right auricle is called vena cava. There are two vena cavas, superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Here in the picture you can see the superior and inferior vena cava. And the superior vena cava bring deoxygenated blood from the upper regions of the body. Which are the upper regions? Including head, chest, arms. The deoxygenated blood from these regions are get into the right auricle by superior vena cava. What about inferior vena cava? Inferior vena cava brings blood from the lower regions of the body, including abdomen and legs. Then, what about left side, left atrium? The blood vessel which reaches to left atrium is called a pulmonary vein. They are 4 in number, 2 from each lung. And the pulmonary veins bring oxygenated blood. Do you know this is the only one vein which carry oxygenated blood, that is the pulmonary vein. Why is it carry oxygenated blood? Because it carry blood from the lungs after oxygenation. Then look at the lower chambers. Which are the blood vessels leaving the heart? Yes, they are also two types. The pulmonary artery and the aorta. Pulmonary artery. Look at the figure. Pulmonary artery is, you can see there. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from a right ventricle to the lungs. It is for oxygenation. And the aorta carry oxygenated blood from a left ventricle and it is supplied to all parts of the body. Now, Are you clear? Which are the blood vessels entering and leaving the heart? Then, in connection with the heart, there is another important artery, that is coronary artery. What is the role of coronary artery? Coronary arteries, they are arising from the base of the aorta. Look at the structure. Here you can see they are arising from the right and left side. What is the function of coronary artery? These supply blood to the heart muscles. Coronary artery is the artery which supply blood to the heart muscles. Then, do you know when there is a blockage in any coronary artery or its branches, what happens? It was a problem. The muscles leading to myocardial infarction, that was popularly called heart attack. The coronary veins collect blood from the heart walls and pour it into the right auricle. And angina pectoris is a chest pain due to the insufficient supply of blood to the heart muscle. Then we can discuss the valves of the heart. What is the role of valves? The valves regulate pumping of blood from auricle to ventricles and ventricles to blood vessels. It also prevents the reverse flow of blood. Look at the figure. Which are the valves of the heart? There are 4 valves, mainly categorized into 2. Cuspid valves and semilunar valves. Cuspid valves are located between auricle and ventricle. There are also 2 because in between the left auricle and the left ventricle and in between the right auricle and the right ventricle. And on the right side, this valve has 3 flaps. It has 3 triangular leaf-like flaps or cups. Therefore, this right atrioventricular valve is also called a tricuspid valve because it have 3 flaps. Look here in the figure, it is clear that tricuspid valve. Then, in between left atrium and left ventricle, the cuspid valve is called a bicuspid because it have only 2 flaps. It is also called a mitral valve. Then the second category is a semilunar valve. Semilunar valve. They are also 2. They are seen between the ventricles and the blood vessels. That also 2 because between the left ventricle and the aorta, between the right ventricle and the pulmonary vein. Between the pulmonary right ventricle and pulmonary vein is called a pulmonary semilunar valve. And aorta and between aorta and left ventricle is called aortic valve. And both function regulate the blood circulation from ventricle to the blood vessel, prevent the reverse flow of blood from blood vessels to the ventricle.
Now, do you understand the importance of blood transfusion? Yes, we can save the life of a person by donating blood. Today's assignment is all of you prepare notes about the importance of blood transfusion and prepare a poster in your notebook. And also, you have to draw the structure of a human heart and label the important parts. Okay, thank you.